Okay, we are live. We'll see if anyone's around. If no one is going to attend or wants a reading, we won't stay long. But I hope everyone is doing well. Hi, Miss Cat. How are you? Hope you are doing extremely well. Hi, Miss Claudia. PayPal you? Okay, hold on one second, Miss Cat. Twenty minutes, love pants. Is that what we're talking about? Hmm. PayPal does this new thing now where it's like, we're going to send you a new code every time. Maybe I asked for that though. How do I do this? I just clicked your name again, Kat, so hold on a second. I want to make sure I do it correctly. I don't want to send you an errantly wild situation. Hmm. I'm doing this backwards. Sorry, hold on one second. Have you already done this? I need to look up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Okay, PayPal's being not the easiest. Hold on. I'm just going to send her a link, PayPal. That's all I want to do. Let's try again. Oh my goodness, I'll learn to do this eventually. Okay, I think that worked. Okay, I think we jumped in the mail. We jumped, so ignore what I sent you if you want to. Hold on here. See if I can cancel that. I'm going to manage my request and hopefully I can murder it because you made it there first. Okay, every time this code. Okay. No, Kat, it just means that you're smarter than me. It just kept making me enter codes and it's because I've locked it for, safety from kiddos and things, just accidents that can happen on the internet. Okay, I'm canceling the request. Are you sure you want to cancel? Yes. Okay, that's been canceled. Okay, so I'm not quite ready. I need to do a little shuffling, but Kat's first on the list for sure, Joe. Joe, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, so Miss
Yeah.
Kat's first, but I'm not anywhere near ready. I need to catch up with what people are saying.
How many minutes?
For 20 when it happens.
Okay.
You cleaned. That's awesome, Claudia. I'm not that functional physically yet at all. Hi, Miss Amanda, I love you. It's not your bad. You were awesome, Kat. You just knew how to make it go. Miss Claudia, is your BFF still around? Still having girl time? Or best friend time, I guess I should say. Okay. Angels, what do you want me to at least shuffle first here? Okay. I had a feeling. How is everyone doing? I get buried in a cavern of nothing for periods of illness. Well, periods of more extreme illness. Everyone on Hub's side has COVID, the poor, lovely, amazing people that they are. I'm glad you're doing good, Amanda. She's at the store. That's cool. I'll have to look at those. Hi, Wolfie. Just to answer your text, I got little message from him this morning, and I just sent him like a little emoticon of love as I emerged from terror earlier today. No, no. My father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law have COVID. And then, like a week before that, I heard tell that my brother and his children, I don't know about his wife, also have COVID. They are live very, very far apart in the country. Yeah, I think it's real cute how the public and some officials are pretending like it's over, not masking up and all that stuff. It's fascinating to me. I have a friend that's a nurse in upstate New York, and this week while I was down, she sent me a thing about having to watch another young child code from COVID complications. I think you're right, I mean, about it being allergies. Ooh, what kind of food are you going to have, Miss Claudia? Mm, I have a nurse. We were talking about Miss Cat. We were talking about my father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law are currently have COVID, and like a week before that, my brother and his children, and I believe his wife, all had it, and they live extremely far apart in the country. Um, and then I have a nurse friend who has been, gosh, hammering away in COVID ICU for many years now, and she lost a pediatric patient this week. Hello to David and the doggy boys. It is sad. It's just, it's so not over. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because of the number of people that don't realize it's that we have fall coming. Ooh, yogurt and crackers, animal crackers, and applesauce and banana. That sounds yummy. The doggy boys are making you nuts. Hey, Miss Cat, while I'm shuffling these decks and trying to get a little bit centered, do you have a general topic or question so I can sort of feel my way to the right tool? Amanda, how was kiddos' school week? It feels like it was a lot easier. That makes sense. Is that um, topical for this reading, Miss Cat, or is that just your description of your day? They're telling me I'm going to use 2 decks, but I don't know which two. Mm, gotcha. You can say it if you want to, Amanda. I know you're trying to be careful in here, but there's no kids. So if it's something you want to share, it feels like you want to share, go for it. I feel like it was even more graphic than that for some reason. Yeah. Did I already ask? I'm sorry if I did. I'm sort of connecting to guides, and I'm also coming back into my own natural brain. Are they on the same bus line? Miss Claudia, thank you for coming. Please, if you and your friend would like to come back, feel free. We're going to just read while people need readings, and we may come back later. And we're sending you love, and I hope you and your BFF have a good time tonight. Have a blast for us.
Bye.
So, Miss Amanda, I'm telling this story not to talk badly of the young man I'm going to talk about because he's turned into a wonderful grown up. But many moons ago, I had a teenaged stepson who was pretty troubled before we met. And he was the perpetrator. He was the perpetrator. He was, I think, closer to 15. And the little girl was a little bit older. So she had social media, which, I have opinions, only personal opinions about people below 13 years having their own private social media. But anyway, it still was no way her fault. And so they did ride the same bus. And he'd been calling her names for a while, and we hadn't heard about it. And then he'd found her social media and left some horrible comments. And initially, I think the parents were hurled. It wasn't across from our house. It was across from his other house, right? Because he split time. And initially, the parents were just, I guess, hurling insults across the street at each other. And because he was a minor, and I knew that it wasn't, the horrible things that were happening weren't just generically happening. It was stress and anxiety and stuff. I contacted the school, his school. So even though if they're in different schools, you can contact the school because your kid's in the school system and that kid's in the school system, and say, I'm having a trouble with a student. This is his name. He's harassing my kindergartner. I just need that to be on record, because then no matter what, they are now mandated reporters and they have to at least look into it and contact the parents. Whereas if the parents are not interested in having a rational conversation with the grown-ups, other grown-ups, they now have to with the counselor. And sometimes grown-ups are exhausted by having many other kids or whatever is going on in their house, and they just go, oh, okay, we yelled at him, it's done, right? And having a file on it like that means that someone else is checking up on it as well. So I would say contact his school. Get his proper name, though, so you don't get anybody else in trouble. Contact his school, please. Yeah. No, it was the school counselor. It was not, I did not call Child Protective or anything like that. I just called the school first and said, this is, because he, first of all, he was my relative. The perpetrator was my relative. But I just said, he's causing trouble. This is the little girl. She's apparently living in fear. Is there anything we can do to get them off the same bus line? Do we need to pull him off the bus line? Can you check in with him? Because I had no, I had been given no rights, even as a step parent, to do or say anything in that situation.
How quickly did they react?
Pretty quickly. And he for a long time didn't even know I was called.
Mm.
Exactly, Kat. Exactly, because if there's a paper trail and something else happens, then he can't say, then it's not he said, she said, it's not what somebody caught out of the corner of their eye. There is a paper trail. So he can't be like, well, it was the first time I ever said anything. No, there's a paper trail. And parents, we don't keep paper trails in the same way, right? We don't have the same type of documentation. And, if somebody's harassing a young person, they're likely harassing other people. And that's the thing too. You don't have to tell the girl you did it. You call while nobody's home. You call the school. You say, this young man goes to your school. I'm worried about this. My daughter's in the school district. We tried to have a direct conversation. We're not sure if it was effective. We don't want to cause too much trouble and call the police or anything like that. Is there any service you can offer me? That's right. See, they'll watch for escalations. They'll watch. You could be protecting other kids that are on the same bus with him, that are, down the street or whatever. You could, but sometimes the bus drivers are so sick of it that they like sort of punish both parties. It's stupid, but it's happened. I worry about that just
Yeah,
because.
I think the official channels with the least said, soon mended idea is probably the best thing. You know, speak to the school, um, and let them handle it. Because, like you say, if one set of parents talks to another set of parents, they may not respond with the level of engagement that you want. But if it comes officially from the school, they might take it more seriously.
Amanda, it's because she has such strong energy, first of all, right? She's got strong energy. She's definitively herself. I was bullied for very similar reasons. And, you know, first of all, she catches their eye and she's of interest to them. But, a 14-year-old ruffian can't be like, hey, you're cool, or you're interesting to someone little like that. They only speak one or two languages. So it's because she's energetically standing out as interesting. People don't feel the need to suppress someone they don't feel threatened by. And clearly, she's not walking around threatening anyone. It's just her level of of, of life force is something that draws attention, and they feel threatened by it. It's going to serve her really well in a lot of other areas. But I mean, I know I'm blabbing on um, my story, but you've got, nurses here, some were pediatric nurses, you have an educator here in the room.
I mean, especially if the school could do something about this with quietly, with no fuss, simply change the bus assignment or something.
Well, I don't know if I've ever seen confirmation that they ride the same bus. They live across the street from each other.
Okay.
I'm not sure, like, that they would be in a town the size they live in. Probably not, but maybe they get off from buses at the same time, or maybe he thinks he's flirting with the big girl in the house by picking on the little girl. We don't know what's going on, but it's still inappropriate, period, to speak to anyone that way, especially someone who's 10 years and many, many inches and pounds smaller than you, regardless of gender.
Right. Yeah, they go to different schools. Well,
The only other way to do it, if you don't want to call school, is you write, and like, you literally on your computer, you type a letter up for your neighbors, and you sign it, and you keep a copy for you, and you give them a copy so that you have a paper trail, and a file date in your computer that says, hey, you probably don't even know there's this problem, but we're just a little bit concerned because it's not nice behavior, but also because he's such a bigger boy, she's a little scared. And then that's the only other way to do it and keep a paper trail, which is going to be the most important part. I went to this not quite rural Catholic school, kindergarten through 8th grade. They were not a very diverse crowd. They were pretty mean to like the one or two students of color. They were pretty mean to a beloved one of mine that's now on the other side who had epilepsy. I once quoted Shakespeare in the 1st grade on the playground, and they kicked my ass and said I was speaking in tongues. People don't like different, and especially what's going on, the general energy of everything that's going on right now is holding that type of energy. So it's either that energy or the opposing energy. And when there's this energy, this suppression energy, and this hyper mask, I don't know, I'm trying not to offend anybody that might have strongly different beliefs than myself, but just the conflict that's going on in the world right now, our country, I should say, that energy is contagious even if people don't know they're picking it up. And so I'm seeing full grown adults picking up that energy and behave in ways I've never seen. And it's like, wow. Why wouldn't we? We love you. We want to hear about it. We just want you to have a paper trail so that you cover your ass and hers. That's all. Yeah, I do. I agree with you, Kat. But the problem is when there's such a size and age differential, it's hard. I agree with you. Hurt people, and all of that stuff, right? And I heard all of that when I was little. But then because I had a compassionate heart, I just let them wail on me and thought, well, they're hurt. It's not their fault that they're kicking my ass. They're hurt.
But you continuing to be hurt by them isn't going to help them either.
I understand that, right? But at like 5, I didn't.
No, exactly. So that's why
That's why you just say they shouldn't do that. That is a no. We'll stop it.
yeah.
And please tell us every time it happens, baby. Oh, Kat, this is unrelated probably to your reading. I don't even know. We don't know what's going to happen in your reading. But the other night, I was really sick, but I think you had texted me like a little kitty, and I was just thinking of you. And I heard someone say, do you want to know, I'm pretty sure it was your mom. You'll know that I'm talking about your mom. Do you want to know why I hug her from behind a lot of the times like a backpack? And it was like, okay, tell me why. And the answer was sort of like, well, number one, because I want her to know that I'm always, always, always there. But number two, because that was always her energy. No matter what was going on, if there was conflict or excitement, she was not, even if she was afraid, she was brave. So she was always stepping out in front anyway. She was always stepping out in front to face whatever it was. I don't know if you feel like that was true or not. I'm curious if you feel like that was true of yourself. Probably. I mean, to me, it felt like a probably just I know about you, but you would know way more than I would. Yeah, it just was sort of like, hey, it's because I wanted her to know I'm there, but also because she's not comfortable like shying away. It makes her feel better to step forward and be like, pardon, more comfortable facing it head on than backing away and worrying what could be coming at you. Yep, okay. Okay, that matches exactly what she showed me. But I just thought it was interesting because all you did was send me a cat. And then she was like, hey, you want to know why I hug her like a backpack? It's like, well, yes, I do. I really do. I just texted Nook. I think in my family they thought I liked confrontation, but I just didn't like turning my back on someone I was scared of. So I always, I didn't back down. But like so many people in this room, I was always way better at standing up for others rather than myself. Hi, Nook Nook. I'm glad you got my text. Doot, doot. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm on the platform and it's in the hours that she's awake. So, Miss Cat, since because you're first, I know we're still going to greet Nook, but I still was never clear. Is the reading specifically about the RV? Do you want a general? Do you have something specific? Thank you, love. I can tell you a handful of things about Nook. Her biggest boy got a handsome haircut yesterday. Right now, she's got a job working with animals, which is awesome in an animal shelter. General frustration. General frustration. They're telling me that I should do the relationship deck and then a different deck. Does that feel correct to you, Miss Cat? Okay, let me pull those out. They had me shuffle in, shuffle in. I haven't pulled the relationship deck out in a while, too. So I was like, yeah, that's probably right. Okay, we got that one going. Okay, guides. Which other? General for Miss Cat H. Okay, well, 3 decks. I don't know, boys and girls. I'll pull them all 3 and get them ready. And just listen to the guides because they're just letting me borrow. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So they chose Light Seers Tarot, Good Karma, and then the Modern Love. We'll have to see what is what is what. Okay. Okay. To all my archangels, Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, to Cat's archangels, to all of our angels and guides, all of those that are of the light and in the light of heaven and in heaven, please come down and help guide this reading, or come closer, come near and help guide this reading. Please help my mind and static not interfere in any message you have for Miss Cat. Please help everything be clear and for the greater good of everyone involved. Thank you so much for your blessings. Thank you so much for all the beautiful people here and all of their non-physical people and angels and guides that come to our gathering with them as well. Please help us do the best we can with what we are given. And thank you so much for all of your help and blessings. Amen, amen, amen. Aho, and so it is. Let's see. Scroll back, scroll back, scroll back. General and frustration. Okay, guides, which is first? Okay, thought you was gonna say so. So, okay, Joe, here in a minute, we'll start the timer, but not quite.
Yeah, just tell me when.
Okie dokie, artichoke. clear any of my energy and my personal thought
Hello, Kat.
away from here. Please clear any of my convoluted energy away from here. I don't think so. I think he's probably texting with Miss Wolf. Okay. Mr. Joe, whenever you're ready, sir.
Hi, Wolf. And yes, I am ready. So your time starts now.
Okay. This is for cat, general, frustration. Oop, some things flew out there. How many more guides from this deck? Okay. Cat. Okay. Sorry, I'm not dead. I'm just clarifying some things here. Okay. Well, let me see what's going on. Okay. All right. So, Miss Cat. So, because I'm going to switch up gears, we'll probably add a few minutes on, like I do anyway. But so generally, okay, this I did the pull the relationship cards first, and it's a it's an interesting. Okay, it's talking about stagnation a little bit, um, but from a perspective of from a perspective of um, even though it feels like probably because of pandemic and health and stuff like that, it feels like um, there's literally been so much time spent together, but like it reads as there's zero silly time spent together. So the first set, of cards here is, really recommending to 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 lighten up. And now I don't that's why I want to do something different here in a minute. I want to put you on one side and him on the other, because I have my suspicions about who's where and who's who in this situation, but I don't want to speak out of turn. So um, it also is talking about him, but you both actually, but him in general, which is a very masculine trait. He wants to be a fixer. By that, I mean, I don't mean like you're a project person. I mean, like, when there's an issue, right, of any kind, he wants to solve it rather than just discuss it. And when, especially lately, when he comes up on things that are not fixable like that, or even fixable in the way that he's been accustomed to fixing. How like it's just so famously spoken about how women quote unquote want to talk to their male partners and just tell them and express and share their frustrations and things, and they just want like a conversation out of it instead of action and hey, I'll fix it. He is more comfortable in hey, I'll fix it energy. But the thing is, a lot of stuff that's happened is not stuff that can be fixed quite so easily. And whereas you've come upon that before, to me, what it looks like is since he had a health shift in the last couple of years, anytime there's something he can't fix, now he blames it on that rather than it just being like, oh, yes, sometimes there are things you can't fix. It automatically is going straight to, well, I can't fix it because I'm a lame old sick guy. I can't fix it because I'm not who I used to be. It's like he's forgetting that, he couldn't fix things before also. It's all getting blamed on the state of, disability that he is adjusting to. I need to see what's going on here. Hold on here. Agree. Sure, he is. Like our toilet, water off 24 hours. I'm not sure what that means. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. And so, there's several major arcana in here, which means that, they're bigger issues. And of course it's a huge issue. I think almost everyone in this room understands disability, actually, everyone that's present here, and understands how hard it is to cope with, and how it's a really quite a long process. And even if you get really good at it, either you still have so many frustrations on some days that just crop up, and you think, I've been doing this for so long. He's pretty new at it. And so everything that goes wrong, he blames on being feeble, which is he's just not as feeble as he thinks. But of course, we all understand and empathize, with the frustration. This first batch recommends trying to figure out what silly time is together. That, of course, there are things that need to be done, but there are also, almost more importantly to everyone's mental health, is just, and I think the last time we read, there was an inkling of this in there, that it's okay to table things for a little while. And I know I can see here that anytime you table things, everybody's still worrying about them anyway. But even if it's like, yeah, I'm hearing, even if it's like literally 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there of anything you can think of or think you've never done. Like if you could play a round of rummy or gin rummy, if you could do Mad Libs or tell each other jokes or something, even if it just occurs 2 minutes at a time, it's going to make a huge difference, because you are really, at your core, you guys are really great playmates. You really are great playmates that share at least considerable strands within your senses of humor are very similar. And so two playmates that are so good at playing, when they stop playing, things start to feel a little funky. Oh, like our toilet, water off 24 hours. Okay, things he can't fix. So yeah, so they're recommending play in such a big way. I don't know if it was you last time or not, but they're recommending a little bit more sunshine. And again, that's literally like 5 or 10 minutes at a time. It doesn't have to be a lot, but they're recommending a little bit of sunshine. I just heard, even if you just do it around the backyard together, walking the dogs, especially since that was part of your meet cute originally. And so, yeah, this whole thing is this whole first round literally was about, I know that you're going nuts because he's going nuts. He's so anxiety ridden over the things that he can't resolve. And they're much bigger issues because he thinks it's all to do with him being quote unquote feeble or or as well. I'm going to reshuffle this same deck, and I want to put you each on a side here just to see if I can clarify it a little bit more. Stepped out to fly his drone. Yeah. Well, see, I mean, that's so good. But they're recommending that kind of stuff happens together. Like, even if you could secretly order a super cheap drone and not tell him about it. And next time he flies his drone, suddenly there's a drone flying beside his. Some little practical thing to sort of knock the ridiculousness. Because you guys, I see it, I've seen it in the cars before. You guys have been excellent when you're good. When things are really good, you are excellent at being completely ridiculous together, right? There's so much joy in that for both of you. And so the complete ridiculousness in the jovial, lighter sense of the term would bring so much relief from the overall tension and anxiety that's happening. Or I don't know if you're practical jokers, but I just saw certainly I don't recommend this one, right? But I just literally saw little practical jokes being left around the house. Like I saw somebody put saran wrap on a toilet. I'm not recommending it, but I'm just saying, or drawing a mustache on the mirror at the right level so that when they look up after they wash their hands, they see the mustache. Just completely, just a tiny bit of Monty Python and now for something completely different can go a really long way. And maybe even I don't know, get online with a couple and play something have a couples night online where you guys can play Pictionary or apples to apples, or I can't think. It's that crazy game. Okay, you shuffle one more time. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah. Okay, here. Okay, so as I was shuffling, I heard, at least make yourself laugh. Is one of you left-handed, Kat? He's not going to be on the left. Okay. Guides. Okay. No. Okay. Can I get another card for him over here, please? One from this cat, please. Oh, there it is. Okay. I got your message, Joe, but I'm going to keep going. Thank you, though, because I know that I delayed a little bit. I won't go too far, but so yeah, he's definitely presenting as um, feeling. I mean, he, the emperor on his head, like dad. That's a dad energy, right? Like so, completely unable to be useful. But there's a childish aspect here, in a big way, in a big way, where he's basically sort of pouting about it, right? Um, you, on the other hand, are presenting as someone who um, is like, come on, come on, come on, come on. We both have survived way worse things than this, separately and apart, or separately and apart, uh, together and apart. Um, but our map was going somewhere, and now I can't even find us on the map, and um, somehow it's managing to be this place of confusion, and but it's this really I'd be confused too, Kat, because then your central card is the Two of Cups, which actually Two of Cups is a far more compatible card in terms of people being lovers and lifelong partners than like the love card in actuality, so it keeps confirming that you're a matched set, but that your frustrations are extremely warranted because his frustrations are getting a little bit out there. I need to see what you've been saying. Your empathy gets drained. Okay, here. Hold on one second. The other question that I had, because there was one card that could be interpreted a couple of ways, is there anybody poking their nose in? Like, do you guys have, other than like me right now, because we're doing this reading, but do you have anybody that's like contributing in your ear? Because they're saying someone is giving you, um, you've talked about it, at least it looks like, and again, it could have gone one of both ways, but it looks like there's someone you've shared your frustrations with, and they're taking their advice a little too far, like they're a little over dramatic about it, and it's not helpful. It's doing more harm than good. That doesn't mean don't share with your whomever. It just means you have somebody who really wants to commiserate with you. At least that's how it looks. But they actually make it sound worse. We hope your hubby is okay, Wolf. Love you. You've watched Leo readings, not shared. Okay. Okay. It's like there's somebody. Could it be him? Here, I'm shuffling these to ask for advice. Um, could he have somebody that he commiserates with that is like goes overboard and is like, yes, it's terrible. Okay, can we please have some advice for relief? Angels and guides, can we please have some advice for relief? I understand and we appreciate that you gave us like the recommendations for silliness. And yes, I hear you right now saying if you cannot, they have said this several times, but I was running my mouth. They've said if for some reason right now you cannot manage to find the silly or get him involved in the silly, um, they're saying still basically romance yourself with ridiculousness, romance yourself in all ways because you deserve that relief even if he's not in a place to participate in it. Um, just because he gets all seriousy doesn't mean you have to, even though it's very hard. So they're just saying, ending life cycle closed chapter. Well, okay, so I'll tell you, one of the cards that came up, was the Fool, which is the beginning of a new journey, um, and the Ace of Pentacles, which is the beginning of a new chapter, but that doesn't mean a new person, right? It means, it's getting part of the reason it feels so freaking stagnant is because it's time for this season to pass. And yep, okay, they're saying in my ear basically there's so many ways to pass through that season, even if you leave him behind and fall for a little while and you move on to get some fresh snow or whatever season you want to move into. That doesn't mean you're moving out of the calendar. He's trying to make you laugh. I'm cured. Is that what you said? Hold on here. Okay, let's see. Relief this way, guys. Okay, this way. Can you offer some relief for Miss Cat and this situation in general? Can you offer some advice for relief from Miss Cat? And I heard that. I heard that, guides. Offer some relief for Miss Cat or the situation in general. Can you please offer some advice for relief? How many is this going to be, you guys? 4 or 5, okay. Whew. Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana. Let's see. Okay, all right. So the general advice is, first of all, try not to judge yourself so harshly. We understand that he's doing that to himself, but you're like, gosh, I just, like you've said here, I just don't have my empathy well is dry, when your empathy well is dry, it's dry, right? Like, and that doesn't say anything negatively about you. They're saying, fill it up in all the ways that make you happy. Like I'm seeing, actually, it almost looks like, um, it almost looks like if you put yourself in a situation where you can help others in even small ways, like being an advice giver, that's going to make you feel better um, over time and also give you a little relief. That's not to say ignore all of your issues personally and forget about them, but it's just saying sometimes the key to finding resolve for your queries is to help someone with theirs. So I don't know who it is that's going to. I don't know that they're going to ask you for advice, but it almost looks like there's someone and you're looking through and you're seeing sort of through the cracks of what they have going on, and you are in a position to really be able to. I don't know if you know who this person is. Do you know who this person is? Or person or people that you've thought about, like, hey, I can really, like, it's almost like you've had advice on the tip of your tongue for a couple of different situations for a while now that you've been holding back, and they're saying you shouldn't necessarily hold back. You're totally in a position to give someone strong advice. Um, can you guys clarify this one for me? Has something to do with creativity. Has something to do with creativity. Both the advice you have to give and the labor that will distract you and fill up your tank. Is It's creative, but what the part that I'm sitting here stammering over is I'm trying to figure out. It's creative, and it's you advising someone else, but it looks like some aspect of creative you're doing on your own. It's like you advise someone, and then it makes you think of, oh, I know, I can make this piece of art or this item to me, it looks like some generating some energy. Like to me, it looks like arranging stones in a way for someone, um, and like sharing that, like you being able to read the energy they need and taking some of your stones. What's this? Yeah, I know the chariot is the big problem. Oh, okay. Okay. Um, and then I know, hopefully, I hope this is making sense, Kat. I know, I'm sorry if it's not. Um, so they're also saying changing the energy in the chariot that's causing so much distress would help too. And so I think what they're suggesting is like taking some of your stones and arranging them, on a table in there inside the chariot, and going in there, and just sort of, even if it's a few minutes at a time, being positive in there. And like I see you smudging in there too. And the other thing that I laughed at that I heard them say, um, I don't think it'll embarrass you, but I'll text it to you, and then you can decide if you wanna if you wanna share, because it's up to you. Hold on one second. Okay. It was not streak, but I think you're a funny lady. So you can share that if you want to. I texted you. Okay. I'm sorry. I know that was a little all over the place. I don't think it's my energy because I kept trying to slow down, and that's why I added time on. Um, I know the situation is a little all over the place, but the main keys were um, your things, something you already knew about how he was feeling about things, trying to figure out a way to be goofball, and if you got to leave your comedy partner behind, and just be George Burns and leave Gracie on her own for a while, do it. Make yourself happy, make yourself laugh, make yourself feel luscious, all of those things. And then it did say try and change the energy inside that area. Do you feel comfortable with this as a stopping place? My lovely person has let me go 10 minutes over, even though I'm breaking the rules. You got it. Yeah. Okay. I know I'm repetitive. I apologize. So anyway, if you have questions that or you want further clarification, you can text me. I'm more functional now. I'm a real boy, Geppetto. I'm a real boy, Geppetto. Ouch, 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 ouch. And then I guess anybody that can think of a funny joke or whatever to text Miss Cat, go for it. And can I give your number to Amanda? I saw her ask that. Okay, I'm glad you're good. Thank you for being patient enough to have the first Cucamonga reading out of the hatch. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a real boy now. I was not very animate for a while. Thank you, Joe, for watching my minutes. I know I'm bad.
It's a work in progress. I think we're doing good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's way better than normal. You'll be back? Okay. We want you to come back all the time.
Yeah, I'll be back. That's my line usually.
I'll, I'll be right back. Oh, see, Amanda will rile you up. She's ready. She's ready for the spankings.
You're making me laugh.
I'll be back. Speaking of spankings, not to be too much of a downer, in my state, in one of the counties in my state, thank goodness it's very far away from me at the moment, but really it's way too close, right? Um, they have just, you probably saw it in national news, a whole school district has approved putting corporal punishment back on the table as an option for teachers. They're calling it like something like the paddle clause. They can't use their hands, but a paddle will be provided to every teacher who needs to discipline a child if they're not otherwise having success at discipline. That literally just came through today. I was mad. I do too, Amanda. I do too, girl. Fist bumps all around. Fist bumps, fist bumps, fist bumps, fist bumps. No, I mean, can you imagine? Like also, um, just there's so much. There's so much. This man who was in charge of, I can't remember the name of the group right now. It was like he was in charge not just of like a local chapter or a big city chapter, but he was in charge of some organization. It was like Parents for Life, right? Like some pro life, heavy pro birth organization in Texas, and he was the head of the organization for the state. And they caught him yesterday. They arrested him yesterday for attempting to basically hook up with a minor via the internet. Like he showed up for a meet cute with a definite minor. So then, of course, people were like, "Well, that's why this guy wants everybody to have their babies because he needs more people to date."
He wants to prey on them.
I need to learn to be more succinct when I read because I repeat myself a lot, but that's because I hear them say things a lot.
Well, I think sometimes the repetition might be necessary. I mean, you will
I
know.
I
Uh,
think that you're being kind. I mean, like in Kat's case, of course she understood, right? So I know that I'm repeating myself,
mhm.
but sometimes I'm hearing them and I'm saying it the same thing like four different ways to make sure I have it right and that I'm not misinterpreting like what I'm seeing or hearing.
I think I'm easy on you with that because it's an occupational hazard. I do that as a teacher, so I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for being easy on me, but I'm sure it's frustrating. It's something I need to learn to do better at when I read because like these are smart people. They get it the first time. It's just that I'm
I
afraid
don't
I
think.
don't
I
get it.
mean, anybody else here could state their opinion, but I don't think you've ever been patronizing to anyone. So,
Oh, not intentionally. But I do think it's probably because you have memory loss. Yeah, I understand that as
well,
well.
I mean, I don't think repetition by itself is bad. It's just that you just have to figure out how you temper it.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. It's sort of like the message is getting through, but I'm like my penmanship when I convey it is sloppy, right? So I feel like I have to repeat myself because I'm worried
To
that what
polish
I
the
said
message,
wasn't
you mean?
legible,
Mm, yeah.
and then it wastes people's time.
I think that's why it's so important to get feedback, and get interaction. And once you know that, okay, the message is there, it's gotten through, then you could feel more comfortable moving on.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of it. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. I know everybody's different. Hold on a second. I got to mute. I'll be right back. My school age marketing manager was giving me some tips.
On what? On repetition?
No, on how to market
Oh, I
online. Quincy decides he's just not going to go to bed in his nook. Well, maybe he just is like, I have mama. I have mama. She to myself. Why would I turn this down? Let's get out the milk. Let's get out the cookies. Let's have date night, me and mom. I mean, if you were my mom, I'd want to stay up and hang out with you. That's for sure.
date night with milk and cookies sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, he's wild. Does he like to dance? I'm seeing him like I'm hearing that song. He's a maniac, maniac on the floor. And he's dancing like he never danced before. That song, I'm seeing a tiny little man like going for it, almost like Chris Farley style. I like the name Quincy. I like it a lot. Well, I don't know if he's dancing right now, but maybe he should. Maybe they're showing it because they're like, get that boy dancing.
My tire remote.
Welcome back, ladies. Somewhere, somewhere here already, but Cat, you heard about the paddling? I mean, I, it's barely that action is barely done in some types of schools anyway. Like, I mean, what I mean is barely over. When I was, I'm, I'm not young, but I'm not old, and they were still having paddles and hitting kids with rulers when I was in parochial Catholic school.
In my country, they prohibited corporal punishment under any circumstance in 2002. So I mean, it's not very recent, but at least we've decided, you know, under no circumstances should a child get hit by a teacher.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree with that. That should never happen. But like I think they officially stopped it at least in my district when I was almost completed high school, right?
Mm,
Now, a lot they didn't in my high school they didn't use it very often, but they could.
right.
In grade school they certainly did use it. Yep. Here we go again. That's right. Started going to bed at 8. They won't sleep in their beds. Love you. I hope your food is good. Hopefully, we get to hear about it later because carry out sounds good. I don't know why I think Mexican. I don't know if I'm having Mexican or if I'm just craving Mexican. But anyway, we love you. Thank you for coming. I think we have a couple people watching and not chatting. And hello to you, whomever you are. I hope you're well. Oh, that's so nice, Claudia. I totally get that. Halloween is my high holiday. At least, in recent years, not as much, just because I don't have as much energy for it. But, my job for so long was like Halloween. that it's just one of my favorites. What do you sing to them, Claudia? Oh yeah, we talked about that some because I think I was like, I taught Montessori. Did you teach Montessori? Man, did you know what your little? Why do you hate it? Bad? Is it a specifically bad memory or just all of Halloween's? I was uh, I was gonna ask if she had ideas. Oh, the dark. Do you like the dressing up part though? Like if you could do the dressing up part and the decorating part in the daytime, is that okay with you? It's just the nighttime part? No.
Have you ever heard of a book called All I Really Needed to Know I Learned in
Learned in
Kindergarten?
kindergarten? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, because you mentioned you were a kindergarten teacher, a Montessori teacher, and for some reason I remember that title. I never read the book, but I knew that there's something out there about how important kindergarten was, and that all the life lessons that you really need to get you through, you tend to learn that there.
Um, yeah, no, they actually, that's a play as well.
Wow. Okay.
And then the same person that I don't know if it was I can't remember if it was the original author of the book or if it was somebody that adapted it for the
Mhm.
stage. I can't remember, but they also wrote two other plays. Do black patent leather shoes really reflect up or something like that? And Sister Mary something or other. Um, can I ask everybody? Because everybody, I think almost everybody, well, not almost everybody, but people have distinctly different reasons for being scared of the dark. Can I ask what they are?
That's a good question. I don't know if I ever really thought about it.
I mean, of course, there's some common themes, but then there are, others that are a little more unique. Yeah.
I think it's just because I rely on my eyes so much that I I don't feel like I could trust my senses enough when I'm in the dark, you know. So things you hear or things you feel or whatever, they you're not too sure what they are anymore because you don't have the verification of your eyes, you know. So you feel disoriented. Um, I think that's probably why I'm more scared of the dark, if that makes any sense.
See, Nook said the same thing as you.
Mm.
Yeah, people have hurt me in the dark as well. But then, what's interesting is, um, I don't know. I always was like, okay, men hurt me, right? Like I went through all these weird phases. Men are the ones that are hurting me. They're hurting me. They're hurting me. They're hurting me. So I'm only going to be around women, right? And then I had some women be violent, right? And then it was like the dark is scary. I get hurt in the dark, and then I'd get hurt in the light, and it was like, okay, it wasn't the dark's fault. I always sort of undulated between those things, trying to figure it out. When I was little, I could, of course, always see spirits way more clearly. Well, even still, I can see them way more clearly in the dark than in the light. Um, and so it was almost like the opposite. A lot of people, you walk into a dark room and you turn on the light and then you can see all the people in there. For me, I go into a room, turn off the light, and all of a sudden I could see all the people in there. And that scared me a lot when I was little.
The few times I felt very comfortable in the dark was if I had gotten a migraine or a similar type of headache, and I could just turn off all the lights. That felt, the dark felt more like a comforting thing than a malevolent thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, you've seen me. I have reached a point in life where I prefer pitch dark a lot of the time. Um, but that was not always the case for a very long time.
I think sometimes the darkness has a way of quieting a lot of chatter, so the things in your head that scare you, they tend to stand out a little more when the place is quiet and dark, you know. So it's not really the dark that's scaring you, it's the things that you have inside your head, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Your thoughts get loud, and your fears get loud. Anytime you're alone like that, in the quiet. That was so smart of you, Claudia. I would have never thought of that. Like that's so smart to take care of yourself ahead of time. To be like, I have this need, and I'm looking to actually succeed here at college, so I need this need filled.
Yeah. But I wonder how those sensory deprivation tanks work if, most people are so scared of the dark, but to be in one of those tanks, it sounds like it would be more terrifying than relaxing.
I don't know. First of all, you do hear the water because you're in water usually, and so it's not completely silent.
Mm.
And sometimes you can ask for like low music. I know that sounds crazy in a sensory deprivation tank, but love you, Amanda.
Bye, Amanda.
Miss Nook put a moon. Does that mean you're going to sleepy sleep too, or are you saying it to Amanda? Enjoy your foodies. Love you. Do you like it, Miss Claudia? The healing sleeping music. I'm glad. Do you have favorites? Like, is it the healing tonal stuff, or do you like nature sounds over the music? I've tried a whole bunch of them, and listening to a lot of ASMR.
Have you found a combination that works for you?
I'm not sure who you're asking, Joe.
I'm asking you.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Um, I tend to like ASMR. See, music for me, I I see it land on the like it sort of it makes my obsessive compulsive kind of nonsense um, go crazy. So when I hear music, especially if it doesn't have lyrics, my brain spends all this time dropping the note where it belongs on the paper.
So you're an auto tune then. You
So music is not relaxing.
you're like the auto tune software. You fix the notes.
Oh, Nook likes rain. It's Christian and Native American music. That's so nice. It's Christian and Native American music. I love just piano. That's so nice. I tend to like either people, if they're doing ASMR stuff, I like mouth noises but not words, right? Because if I get words, then my brain's going to create a whole thing. And some of the ASMR sounds like soap cutting. I like the soap cutting ASMR, and I love the hair brushing ASMR. And then of course there's some just ASMR artists that are, I think everybody's got a different vibration that works for them, right? So if you find one that sort of matches your vibration and doesn't grate against it, that's good too. So I have some favorites.
Yeah, most ASMR just grates against my ear. But what I have found is there's some voices like if I'm awake and attentive, I would listen to them and get everything. But if I'm tired, those voices could lull me to sleep. So there's certain people on YouTube or whatever. If I'm sleepy, I just play that an hour of them, and it lulls me off. With ASMR, there are these people that use these glass tip pens and they draw, and you hear the sound of the pen against the paper, and they dip into the ink and stuff. That works for me. I find that relaxing.
Well, and you love pens too.
I do. I
So
like
it
watching
combines.
artists and stuff create stuff. But it's interesting because you would think that the benefit of that is to see the finished painting, right, or the picture or whatever. But the sounds is what gets my attention and just relaxes me.
I looked up Dino. I don't find them on YouTube. I'm curious where they are. He's playing with his toys. Mr. Q is playing with his toys. Brush your hair and rub your neck. Yeah, yeah. I'm a big sucker for the hair brushing too, Miss Claudia. Like if somebody brushes my hair or plays with it or braids it, um, and touch doesn't soothe me a lot, right? I'm jumpy and have all this nerve damage and stuff. I'm sure you can relate, but something about hair brushing or braiding or whatever, both having it done or doing it to someone else is soothing to me. I'm there with you. Is Dino or Dino an ASMR person? No, a pianist. Okay. I'm going to search. Okay. Dino. Piano player. Is it Dino Kartsanakis? Kartsanakis? American pianist of Greek heritage. Oh, I see it. Peace in the midst of the storm, somewhere in time, regal rain, music for all time. That's great. Oh, he's my astrological sign. Do you know Kartsanaki? I'm trying to remember, Miss Claudia, I don't know if I've ever asked your astrological sign. Are you a water sign? I had a feeling. I wonder if we're the same water sign. Yes, yes. Oh, girl. Okay, I'm the 16th of July. You and my husband are days apart, um, down to the year. Okay. Joe,
American
thank you.
formats, they confuse me because to me that's the 7th of August.
Right. Yeah. Yes. But her in the States, we go month, day, year. Now, if you were saying it verbally, if somebody said to you, when's your birthday? Would you say
I would
1st
say
September?
yes, I would say the 1st of September, yes. But
Yeah, see, here we'd be like, it's July this. Huh?
precision and stuff that sometimes the other way slips in. Sometimes you might say September 1st, but
Right.
generally speaking, we would say the 1st of September, if that was my birthday.
Yeah, I understand. So it'd be like, when's your birthday? 23rd August.
But you all say things like the 4th of July, you know.
We
You
do.
don't celebrate July 4th. You celebrate the 4th of July.
I think that's probably exclusively, I think it's like makes it fancy, right? Like it's like a special day. So it gets a slightly different title, is how it feels to me, like how it was arranged.
Or maybe you just didn't break free enough of your English overlords at that point in time to change it. We're going to change your date format, we're going to change your spelling. So, you would know that we are not British. Maybe that's where it came from.
Maybe. sorry? Why are you sorry, Ladybug? Are we? I hope we're not interrupting BFF time, are we? Snack, and best friend time. Because I enjoy getting to know you. Matter of fact, if you're both there kicking it, and BFF would want like a free short reading, of course that could happen. But I also know, it's like best friend zone too. And all yummy snacks. No matter what I do today, if I'm just shuffling to shuffle, the Justice card keeps coming up on top. Hi again. We're glad you're here. I think, I don't know if you heard me, but I just was saying, if we're interrupting best friend time, I'm sorry. But otherwise, I'm enjoying getting to know you. Yeah, never, ever, ever apologize for helping Mark. You're a total hero, woman. Talk about the queen of the best friends. That's you, man. Are you in charge of, and if you don't want to talk about it, I totally get it. Are you in charge of palliative care for him? Also, when's his birthday? Should have texted Pixie the Dream Girl too here. Maybe I will just text her real quick and just say, we're on for just a little bit longer. Because I'd like to know how her grandson is. I don't know if you're still within ear range, Miss Claudia, but um, we were saying before if at some point during BFF weekend your friend would like a reading, uh, you know, since we haven't met, if they'd like a free short reading, if that would be fun. Of course, if it's not fun, please disregard completely. But it was something I think I said when you were AFK. I think we're all old enough to remember AFK, right? I don't know if the young kids say that anymore.
Oh yeah, yours says it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I believe that, but I also think that's also a factor of young vernacular. I'm just saying I don't know if is it super like, do you see it when you guys are gaming?
I don't know because I don't game with groups of people, you know. So I don't know, but I do think the term is still fairly common.
Um, Also, Miss Claudia, I'd asked when the birthdays are of the two people that are there with you. Ooh, that sounds good. Do um, do your students ever say that AFK?
Yeah,
Okay, okay, so they do use it.
yeah. They'll say, sorry, sir, I was AFK. Usually when I ask a question.
Is what?
They would say like, sorry, sir, I was AFK, but that's usually like when I ask them a question.
Oh, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to answer in class."
I'm not one of those that insists that they turn the cameras on in class because I don't like to have my camera on either. So you mostly see my whiteboard, and they type, but some of them take advantage of that. I mean, university, I'm not there to police whether you're in front of the computer or not.
You don't know anything about which thing, Miss Claudia? Chat room, jibber jabber.
Yeah, but I think anybody accustomed with the old days of the first generation of the internet, where the most impressive thing you could do is chat with another person with text and emoticons, they used to call them. They didn't
Yeah,
call them emojis.
yeah. Oh, and ASL, right? Like
Yeah, ASL is dead,
I
but
figured, I figured it would be, right? But it used to be like you'd walk into a chat room or type into a chat room, and everybody like be would ASL, ASL, age, sex, location. It's like, why is that the most important question?
well, are you old enough so I'm interested in you? Are you the orientation that I'm interested in you? And are you close enough so I could meet you? I guess that was what they were probably thinking.
I was going to say sometimes helping someone helps. right now or earlier or I don't know if I'm lagging a lot or not. I'm going to click on it on my phone and see. Booga, booga, booga.
I didn't know you spoke cable.
Ooh, let's try one more time here. Word. Okay, it's almost like 11 seconds for me. Will you say something, Joe?
Something, Joe.
Yeah, that was like 9 seconds behind. Well, I feel like maybe we should shut down YouTube, but Miss Claudia, um, I'm going to give you a minute to answer because I know there's a big lag. If you were still wanting to hang out, we could send a link to a platform where there can be conversation without continuing to record the session if you're interested in that. But I think I probably should kill this particular thing because we're all sort of quiet and okay. So Miss Claudia, because of the lag, I'm going to end this and thank everyone who came. And then I'm going to send you a separate link so that we can all continue to converse. So thank you to all who came. Thank you, Kat, for getting the reading and being patient with me. We may try and come back later just because I'm trying to figure out a good time for both old and new patrons. And Miss Claudia, I'm going to send you a separate link here shortly. Goodbye and love and light to everyone via this session.